Hello and welcome. I'm Ann Weiser Cornell, and this is Support for Stressful Times. And we are back. We had support for stressful times for quite a long time, last year and the year before. And then it was time to take a break. Now we're back again. And this year it will be once a month. And every month we'll have a theme. And it's all about you and how you can receive support for these stressful times that we're all going through and that you are going through. Because, the truth is, for each person, it's different. You have your own suffering. You have your own longings. You have what brings you joy and comfort. And you have the feeling somewhere in you that some things are missing for you, that you need, that you're not getting. I'm just guessing. And so here's what we're going to do together. We're going to pause and allow each person here, joining us here, to spend some time aware and acknowledging how you are right now. So this is what has been so amazing for me in my life, pausing. First of all, pausing. Let's do that together. Hello and welcome, and do take the time right now to pause. And that means letting yourself be aware of your body. That often happens just automatically when you let yourself pause. Don't you then become more aware of your body? Perhaps you're aware of how you're sitting, where your feet are, where your hands are and what they're touching. And you might become aware that your shoulders need a little stretch. And feel where your back is, and if your back needs a little more support. Here you are, sensing your body more and more, and especially sensing the inner area of your body that includes your throat, your chest, down into your stomach and belly area. Being present with yourself right now, because here and now, there is support. There is support in the here and now. And a lot of things that bother us, either things we're carrying from the past that are hard things, or things in the future we're worried about. And all those things are legitimate. And here and now, there are comforts, supports, resources, gifts that can help with both the past and the future. So we're pausing together, feeling your body, feeling your breath, letting yourself arrive, allowing yourself to be here and now, and having your breath. Mm-hmm. And then take a pause and ask yourself, how am I right now? How am I right now? How is it to be here? How is it to be me at this moment? And notice what feels good or okay in this moment. Maybe it feels good to be in a community of about 50 people, all calling in from different parts of the world. Maybe you like hearing my voice. That would be nice. Maybe you're comfortable somewhere in your body right now, or peaceful. Maybe you're in a room where you feel safe and where there's familiar colors and objects. There's also things going on probably that don't feel so good. Let's make room for all of that. All of that. I can be here and I can feel what feels comfortable and good enough and okay. And I can also make a welcome inside for what doesn't feel so good. Think of that. Think of welcoming. You know, when I first learned focusing, the night I met Eugene Gendlin, the first words I heard him say were, if you're here, you belong here. He was speaking to the group. He was speaking to me. I felt anxious, uncertain. I was coming into a group that had already existed for a year. I wasn't sure they would accept me. They had funny ways of talking. They talked about bodies and feelings. And he said, if you're here, you belong here. And that's really essential to loving ourselves. If we can say to ourselves, if you're here, you belong here. Can you say that to yourself? I say it to you. You say it to each other and to yourself. If you're here, you belong here. And then notice how it feels to take that in. If you're here, you belong here. Wow. Most of my life, I had a lot of worries about belonging. I often felt at school like I didn't belong. I envied the popular kids. It looked like they felt they belonged, but I didn't. I think belonging is a human need. Do we belong? Do we belong in this world? Do we belong in this universe? There's an uneasy feeling if we don't. But right now, let's practice what it feels like to say to ourselves, if you're here, you belong here. And might there be something in you that you wish weren't here, that you wish didn't belong here? Might there be something like body pain? Are you in pain somewhere? Are you suffering? Or is there a feeling of something in you not being acceptable, not being good enough? That's one of our themes for today, is this, well, it's called the inner critic, when parts of us arise to feel that we're wrong somehow. It's one of the things that can make stressful times even more stressful. When something that you feel is not okay. You shouldn't feel that way, or something that you think or believe, or something that you do. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't feel that. You shouldn't think that. Or maybe these inner doubts come about something you haven't done. I worry that I'm not good enough, that I will fail, that I can't do what I need to do what I really long to do. The feeling of not belonging is related to that. The feeling that I'm not in the right place. I don't fit anywhere. Who feels like that these days? What is going on in you that's difficult to accept, to say, yes, I welcome that too? If it's difficult to accept something, then that's a very important thing to be in touch with. So here we are. Here we are together. We are saying to each other, if you're here, you belong here. I'm saying it to you. And you're practicing saying to yourself, to every part of you, if you're here, you belong here. And then noticing what happens, noticing if there's some objection, noticing if it's no, there's a no, that I can't allow. That is something I need to get rid of. Let's see. Nancy writes in the chat, when I was young, my sister always told me I was adopted and didn't belong with our family. Oh. And I guess what you're saying is that you weren't actually adopted, but your sister was being mean to you. And that hurt. And of course, even if you were adopted, you would still belong. So what really hurt was your sister saying you didn't belong in the family. So what can we do now when we have hurts like that? But Nancy writes, I carried that around for a long time. So past tense, Nancy, good for you. You don't anymore feel like you are carrying that feeling of not belonging. That's great. But what can we do when we have that some feeling that we've carried, we're still carrying? This doesn't belong, or I don't belong, or I'm wrong, or I don't fit. And that, yes, we probably have stories like Nancy does of times when other people told us that, or when we were treated that way, when we were treated cruelly or harshly by others, humans. We're a tough species to be part of, aren't we? But here's what I like to say. First of all, however you feel is not all of you. It's something in you. So the first magic is to pause. And the second magic is to say, something in me feels this way. So let's say you feel sad, heavy, small, sort of little like you're carrying around something bad, almost like you are something bad. And then you get to say, I'm sensing something in me feels this way. I don't have to be this crouching, cringing, downtrodden one. I am the one who can say hello to the one that feels that way. I am sensing something in me feels this way. Take any feeling, especially the ones that are stressful feelings, like being sad, being angry, being anxious. And I'm sensing something in me feels this way. I'm sensing something in me that doesn't feel I belong. And I'm saying hello to that. So try that. Many of you have tried this before. What are you finding inside yourself that feels stressful or difficult or painful or hard? And try saying, I am sensing something in me feels, and then use the words that describe that. I'm sensing something in me feels this way. Melanie writes in the chat, I feel like I belong here now, but I feel too many difficult to accept things at the same time. Yeah. So no matter how many difficult to accept things you feel, start acknowledging them with this language. I'm sensing something in me feeling tired. And I'm sensing something in me feeling overwhelmed. And I'm sensing something in me feeling anxious, right? And so almost like you're gently saying hello to each of this crowd of characters. You can be here with all of that. And the language can help. The language can help. Now, inner critics are also parts of us that we can acknowledge in the same way, but maybe we need a different language for inner critics. Slightly different. Slightly different. So I have something in me that feels tired, and something in me that feels overwhelmed, and something in me that feels stressed. Lots of somethings. And then, as I say hello to all of those, I feel I shouldn't be so overwhelmed. I should be able to handle my life. Now, when I'm using my little red dragon to represent that should voice. The should. I've got another something. And this something is saying I should. So when it's a critical voice, a doubting voice, and it's talking and saying things like, you should be able to deal with this better, then we'll use the word say. I'm sensing something in me is saying. And then the next step with a critical voice is to be gentle with it, but that's not the same as believing what it says. So it says, there's something wrong with me that I can't handle. It says I can't handle all of these feelings that are coming right now because life is so stressful. I don't have to talk to it about whether that's true or not. I don't agree or disagree. I say hello. Might you be worried about me? So this is the magic for a part that's an inner critic. Might you be worried about me? It's worried. Big secret. Changes everything. That place in you that's saying things like you're going to fail, or you don't have what it takes, or the feeling I don't have what it takes. That's something that's worried about you. It's saying those things because of how worried it is. And when we understand that that part is worried, then it becomes a part like any other. Something that has feelings, something I can say hello to, something I can pause and be with. And what's happening when I am the one who says hello, right? I am here. I am sensing. So I didn't just say something in me is tired, right? What I said was, I am sensing something in me is tired. I am sensing something in me is stressed. I am sensing something in me is overwhelmed. Those words, I am sensing, allows us to remember that we're here as a whole self. I am sensing something in me is having a hard time, and I am saying hello to that. I'm sensing what kind of contact it needs from me right now. You might want to take your time to sense what in you needs a little extra care right now. So what in you feels like it's having a hard time? What in you isn't peaceful, calm, spacious, and relaxed? Daniel writes, when you spoke of if something in you feels it doesn't belong, there's a current medical condition I'm dealing with. There's something in me that went right for it and waggled a finger at it. But when I turned toward this something, it calmed back down a bit. So you turn toward this something wagging the finger at the current medical condition. And you said, maybe you're worried. So yes, well done. Beautiful. Yeah. We can often tell that what we're doing is working because in the body, we'll feel a deeper relaxation, a greater calm, a deeper breath. Although sometimes the next thing that happens is things get more intense. Like I said hello to it and it gets stronger. Well, that happens too. That also shows that it's paying attention and it's listening. Yes, very good. So that's what we're doing here today. We're being together, we're pausing. Why did I start by asking you to sense what feels good in your body right now? How you feel at peace or open or supported, comfortable, safe, even a little bit. Because when we notice what feels good, that gives us a resource. And there's always something that feels a bit good, always something. A lot might feel hard and bad and difficult, and your body might be in pain. And we're not trying to push any of that away. That's all true. That belongs here too. This I, the one who you really are, who can turn toward anything inside you with compassion, with warmth, with love, even with love. You build that I by sensing what feels good. Sometimes, to me, sometimes all that feels good is that I'm sitting down. Okay, that's the start anyway. I'm sitting down. Yes. And here we are. And this is our time, our little time to pause and sense and be together here. How's it going for you? What are you sensing? What are you aware of? How's life right now? Yanis writes in the chat, do you phrase it as a question, talking about how I talk to the criticizing part? Might you be worried about me? Yeah. Or you can say, maybe you're worried about me. Hope says, I'm feeling calmer. Yay. That's what I'm looking for. I hope I can help you feel calmer. I hope we together can help each other feel calmer. And it's your own body, your own pausing to be with your body. And Melanie writes, I'm feeling more organized. Oh, Melanie is the one who had a lot of different parts. And said hello to each of them. That's great, Melanie. Lily writes, I'm aware of the whole larger me who's here with all that needs my attention. And I feel so much appreciation for this process. Thank you, Lily. This is something to do. Pause, acknowledge using the language of I am sensing something in me. And remember that everything you feel is included. Everything you feel has some importance for you. There is nothing in you that's trying to hurt you. My teacher, Eugene Gendlin, once said, nothing that feels bad is ever the last step. And what he meant by that was, we're a process. Becoming aware of how we feel is a step in a process. Acknowledging it is another step. Sitting down to spend time with it is another step. Feeling bad is never the last step. It may be the first step, but it's never the last step, because The process of being with yourself and listening to yourself brings life forward. There are some things that are hard and we can't change them. And we can acknowledge how that feels. And then something can change. Nancy writes, my self-talk is kinder and more gentle. Wonderful. And Elizabeth writes, a part of me put an arm around a part that was feeling it had done something wrong. Oh, yes. I love it that you might be feeling more gentle towards yourself and kinder to yourself. Let's have a world with more kindness, more gentleness. I think one of the things about that out there that's going on that feels so stressful to me is how much there's kindness missing. So let's start with ourselves and each other. Bring in kindness and gentleness to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And I will be seeing you again. We'll be meeting again. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for the hearts. Lovely to spend this time with you. I'm Anne at focusingresources.com, and I always welcome your emails. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now. Be gentle with yourselves. Bye.